you can really use that, then you go, now I'm in the right place. I mean, I think this whole thing with teams, that was kind of a natural evolution where you're out there selling real estate, now you can create more real estate than you can handle yourself, so you need to sort of expand. Now, Gary Keller's theory, and I'm telling you, he is so sure that his legacy will be expansion, which is that realtors are the natural, they're the real natural entrepreneurs, and that what's going to happen is that people who are successful at that are going to keep building businesses and build teams in other places.
Right.
And that there are lots of people you can make $500,000 being on somebody's team.
Yep.
If you're doing that, and it's just a different way to work. And actually, my coach is working on one of the things is coaching sort of the expansion, because I think they rolled it out and it didn't work exactly the way that people wanted. But like anything else, just like teams was an evolution in real estate, and all the things that went along with how to run teams and what different people can do, is that there will be people that'll, I mean, for a while, Noah's goal was to have a team in every Keller Williams office. I thought, well, never thought of that. That's a good idea. If you could make a little bit from 700 teams, that would probably work. And what would happen if he did that? Well, more people would be employed, and there'd be lots of people, you know, because somebody running a $30 million team for him someplace else is going to be making a good living. And that, boy, I hadn't thought about it that way, and that's the way teams could really work. So that's kind of the evolution that comes from putting this whole kind of mastermind. It's like, hopefully somebody here got an idea that will take place when they have one conversation, and what will grow out of that is unbelievable. And could change your life by plugging into a system that's already in place that allows for you to sort of get that success from that. I mean, that's the only way Keller Williams grows. That's why it took us longer to become #1, because it's organic. Prudential, Fox and Roach, that's America. You know, we can buy another business, and mergers and acquisitions is absolutely a way to go. It's just not the Keller Williams way.
By the way, they acquired Long and Foster recently, and so we saw that little bump in the trajectory of their growth from buying a company, and the gap is just so incredibly far. By the way, they're not the #2 company. So even after that merger.
Right, and that was the largest independent. But what happens when you were?
There was not a significant growth.
What's the culture like when you were a Century 21 agent, whatever that culture is? When I got into real estate, I said I was getting into residential real estate. He says, "Aren't those the guys that wear cool jackets and make $20,000 a year? Why would you want to do that?"
It's an awful color.
Right, but you know, but wait a minute, so you were in a culture of Century 21, and then you got bought by Long and Foster, so they just took your whole world and changed it around, and now you're part of the largest independent, and then you get purchased by Berkshire Hathaway,
Big corporate.
and they say nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
Now, is that true? They don't have a franchise fee. Do you think in a year they're going to have a franchise fee?
Yeah.
Yeah, they will. So, I mean, so it's like, so somebody who was subject to that might all of a sudden look, who's going to buy me next? Am I going to be wearing a gold jacket or a blue jacket or a Cabernet and cream jacket?
Yeah. Gary Keller has already said he'll never sell the company.
Right, I can picture him standing in front of this audience going, I will never sell this company. And I believe him.
Largest agent count, volume, and only privately held company. Only one that's on the board. Everything else is corporate owned.
And they're sitting in their corporate offices trying to figure this out. They don't say that publicly, but I guarantee you, if you're at Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Remax, they know what the numbers are. They know that we're taking their agents. And the only reason we're up is because they're down, because their agents thought that this was a better way to do business. Because we're the agent-centric company. That means we're here for agents. We don't support Gary Keller. Gary Keller supports us.
Correct.
You know, when he stands in front, he goes, not my name, your name. You're the reason that real estate is getting, isn't this real estate business our collective spheres of influence? That's where almost all the real estate gets sold. Not by calling expires.
One thing you guys can do is go to Facebook group Aaron Kaufman has the KW effect or profit share. What, Jeannie, what's the profit share Facebook group?
Is it BRIN or
I don't,
ARN?
it's funny, I'm in it, and
AARON.
I see him every day, but I
Yes.
can't remember what the group
I
is
forget
called.
what the group,
AARON?
profit share, KW profit share masterminds.
Yeah,
What's
that's
the
what it
last
is,
name?
yeah.
They may ask you for your ID or license number, something like that.
FIN.
But when you go on Facebook, you can be a member of that mastermind
A
group. It's
profit
incredible.
share mastermind, KW, he's always on there. He's got some good tips sometimes.
And he's on Facebook?
Yep.
Yeah, and everybody else chimes in all over the country. It's really actually, it's kind of interesting. You know,
And he's coming, we're having a country Royals coming in March, I think.
Is he? Yes, yes, yes.
But
saw
I mean,
one.
he makes a living going around speaking about Keller Williams profit
yeah,
share.
yeah. He says, somebody says, we hate the word recruit. We don't recruit, we change lives. It's all kinds of stuff from all over
Yep.
the country. If somebody has a question about 500.
You know, that's what makes us better. More people create more ideas, and then you figure out another way to do it. I can tell you that once you get it going, I mean, I'm gonna guess it grows at about 20% a year on its own. So, you had an investment class. If it grows at 20%, how long does it take till it doubles?
Oh, you should-
Divide 20 into 72, so that's like 3.25. So in 3.25 years, it should double.
These just people making a lot of money on this profit sharing, like 20, 21st, all like, they got the itch and oh my God, and some people made 100,000. Yeah.
Now, I figured out, because I mean, I so
Yeah.
look at the system, I know what my profit share will be on the 21st.
Yeah.
Because they post the first thing that Keller Williams posts, do people know that, does anybody look on the 21st to see what happened?
Of course.
After the day after transmittal, which is 3 days after the third business day of the month, they post how much the office profit was in profit share. And because I've broken down my profit share, now I went on at 6 o'clock, it wasn't posted, but at last night, it was posted. Okay, so that's how I figure out what my profit share will be. First, I divide the list by our region. What I do New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. So those are the offices that I see that Ridgewood profit shared $57,594, and I'm gonna get 8% of it from looking at it month after month after month. So I'm gonna get $4,600 from that office. I'm gonna get $200 from Westfield. But I know at the end of the month, sort of exactly what it'll be. And I can usually estimate it within, I don't know, I mean, certainly within 10%. Just because people tend to be, if you have people, if you're not Aaron Kaufman and have people across the country, because what he did, when I'm saying there's room for creativity, he put ads on Craigslist
Yeah.
to attract agents, and then when somebody responded, he'd call up Dan and say, hey, I got an agent in your area, we want to talk to him. And he did that all over the country. There's a creative way to do it. I never thought of doing anything like that. But that is a way you could proliferate profit share.
So for clarity, he called the team leader in the area which the person was?
Yeah, he just placed an ad.
Okay, he didn't just
placed
call
an
Dan all
ad
the time.
he
He
placed an
called
ad on
whoever that person
Craigslist
was.
in Margate about having a career in
I
real
got
estate. When somebody responded, now we have a new pro coach in the office. He put an ad on Indeed, and the other day he had 7 interviews with people who are getting their license. Now the region doesn't count an interview with somebody who doesn't have a license as an appointment for him because they can't join the company today. And that's a criteria for appointment. But this guy interviewed 7 people. The advantage is when they start to go to school, if they're interested in Keller Williams, you can then, what happens in real estate school when everybody gets out? They go and interview with companies, right?
Right.
So if you get somebody while they're going to school, maybe they're gonna bring 6 of their friends to come interview with Dan. And they're starting to build their downline before they're in real estate.
Get on Indeed.
And if you went on Indeed, you could create an ad, and I guarantee you'll get a response.
Gary, what is Indeed?
It's just a job site.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
It's like a headhunting.
Like Monster
Job site,
or,
okay, obviously I don't need a job, so I never looked.
right, exactly. But
Sorry.
that would be a thing, that would be an activity that you could do that would create a result. There's like physics, action, reaction. So if you do something, something's gonna happen, and if you play that out, and if you did it every month for a year, and you got 40 people to come interview, and maybe the system in the office is, I don't know if you talk to brand new agents or not.
Yeah, Kathy.
I try to get our team leader not to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I want him only talking to people in production.
Yeah, Kathy and I tag team a lot, and
Oh.
she's been shadowing me, because she's our pro coach.
Okay, you're the pro coach,
Yeah.
okay.
I am, yes.
So the last person I got, I went, somebody gave us a listing that I just refer to the team because I don't sell anymore, but I took these people out to dinner for referring us something. And her husband said, my son from my first marriage has been in real estate. He worked for new construction, then he worked for somebody on a team and kind of ran their team and sort of helped build it, and now he's looking for something. She was insane and he had to leave. And I know her, so that is absolutely true. And he was looking for something, and in this conversation, I'm just talking to somebody who's in real estate to help these people out. And when I'm talking to the guy, he was in the military, he used to train people for new construction. Everything he liked to do was to be a pro coach. It was like, wow, I didn't know that job existed. That's everything I love to do. So now he's the pro coach, and I got him first level, so I'm assuming all the new agents that come to the office now are gonna be in my downline, and it was a way I could start that there. But, so that's, from that position, that's something you could do easily.
Andrew, you had your hand up, did you have a question?
Well, there were quite a few on Facebook, quite a few mastermind groups. So
Yeah,
I
it's a
just
shit,
wanna get in-
profit
Yeah.
share mastermind.
There's a whole
It's
YouTube
profit
video on
share
him giving.
Or if you look up Aaron, what's it,
Aaron Kaufman, but I think it's called Profit Share Mastermind, let me
Well,
just
there's,
check.
Mastermind is on there, but there's actually like 3 YouTube videos on there of him giving a class on profit sharing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
actually,
he
if
has-
you type in
he
Andrew
knows
Profit
a
Share
lot about
Mastermind,
how to talk to
KW.
people
How to talk
about
to them, right, what's it say?
Profit Share Mastermind KW, and that's exactly what it says, is Profit Share Mastermind dash KW. And you'll see that there are, I've been a member there since 2015.
Got it.
See, I think a pro coach can make more money than a team leader.
Thank you.
It's a different way of doing it, depends on what you like doing. A lot of people,
We're working
don't love
We're
that.
working on it.
We're working on it. She's doing very, very well, actually.
For you.
She's still in production, she's a capper, she capped
And I
in
said
5
to this
months.
guy, this is your team, it should have 100 people on it.
Right.
And you're just
I'm
gonna make a
working on getting
percentage.
another
And the
team
other thing I
member
want
right
to do is get a bell.
She'll be here at 3.
I want him to get a bell, and I want the bell to get rung in the office every time one of the new people sells a house.
We have
The
bells.
more they hear the bell ring,
Right
yeah.
outside
We
my
make
house.
them, we make them. ring
She
it.
makes us
You
do
bought
it.
it? I didn't know. Oh, thank you. We love that bell. We've been ringing it so hard that Dan had to reinforce it on the wall.
I just reinforced it this morning.
Is that right?
Yeah, I
Yes.
did, literally.
Yes,
I had to
true.
buy bigger thing,
True story.
And she's my
Anchors.
coach, so if if I have a closing and she doesn't hear me ring it, she comes up and makes me ring
And I
it.
hit her. And then
Right,
she rings it.
okay.
Pretty
But
much.
no, that'll work, and that is, I mean, to me, that is an exciting opportunity, because from the pro coach, the other thing is, when you get yourself a top producer, there's a guy in Bryn Mawr who sells, 240 houses a year, and pays the company relatively a little amount of money. I'd rather have every newbie in the office, because every time they sell a house, there's profit
Just profit
generated.
share, right, exactly.
There's company dollar. In Bryn Mawr, I think that when you have a lot of big teams, the company dollar in Bryn Mawr, paid on volume, which is only a Keller Williams term, is about in the low 40s,
Mm.
and in Doylestown it's in the 60s.
Wow.
Wow.
That's the difference an agent mix can make. So having the 3 top producers in the world in your office would mean you'd be the number 1 in volume and units, and you wouldn't make any money.
Right, because they would cap immediately.
Right, you
Yeah.
have too soon.
Michael and I thought, when I get Keller Williams, let's just get cappers, that'll be great. It just doesn't work.
No, you don't make money
Yeah,
with cappers.
just make money on the others.
Right, and having that mix is part of what works. You need those people to sit open houses, and it's when you have the proper mix that the whole office comes together.
Absolutely.
So I was a model fighter. That whole E to P thing?
Mm.
So when somebody said it's really good here, I go, good is the enemy of great. Because when it's good, you can become complacent.
Yes.
And everybody has a natural level of ability, and it's different. I don't know what your natural level, but I could go in and sell this much real estate, and that wasn't that hard, but what I did, because that was good enough, I didn't do the things that I should have done that would have taken it further. Not that I'm complaining, because it worked out great.
I have a question, which I really shouldn't have, because I know I've done it already. 2 of the people in my downline are in the office, and one of them is not. It's in the North Jersey office. But when you're bringing in someone that,
Which North Jersey office?
Mammoth, but.
Okay, yeah, great office.
Okay, but when you're bringing in someone, like I have someone in mind that I'm actually working with right now. If they're coming in, but they're not coming into this market center, they're going into another market center. Is that a conversation, because when we did it, you and I, you didn't have the conversation with my Mammoth office, you hooked him up with a team leader there.
Yeah, so I basically created a paper trail for Donna to introduce Donna
Oh,
to.
no, that's the right way to
yeah.
do it.
But what happens to you? You get lost in that? You're just handing it over to him?
No, it's
Who's
just
downline,
a-
who's?
Oh,
you're-
I'm in his, okay.
You're,
I'm in
you're,
his downline.
you're in his
She's going
downline.
down.
So no.
So when that person joins North Jersey, he
It's in his
benefits just
downline,
like you
okay.
do.
That's
But
why
he would do
we're-
it either way.
That's why we're gonna
I know
get
he would
your-
do it either way,
yeah.
I just.
Oh, that's why you're going for New York.
Yeah, we're going for her sister.
It's all right, I'm
We're
going
going
for
for my
California.
sister, and I have somebody, a big agent in North Jersey, but
Good.
we'll talk about
What town in North Jersey?
it. Marlboro.
Okay, I don't know where
Marlboro is,
Gary's looking to
Marlboro,
start a profit share.
Marlboro is North Jersey, I'm gonna say she's right next to Lincroft, which is where, Red Bank, it's a whole
yeah.
young up and coming.
is. Oh, I was just
What
saying, where's the
exit on the
closest,
Parkway?
what's the closest market center
Monmouth
to there?
County?
Yeah, what exit on the Parkway?
She's 105
Okay,
on the
there you go.
Parkway.
105,
105.
okay.
Yeah.
Most of my profit share tree is from like 130 and up.
Oh, you're really.
Livingston, Summit,
Oh, you're where the money is.
right, those are, I mean, Sue Adler in that office
Where the
says,
money is.
oh, the spring market, that's the day that Solomon Brothers declares their bonuses. You're buying or you're not.
Wow.
But so many people are financial that that's what decides whether people are doing it. And, you know, it's different everywhere. You just have to market to whatever your market is.
Right.
I mean, we're all jealous because, I mean, I think the Summit Market Center, the average sale price is 700.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it'd be easy if every house was 700.
Right.
Right. They're not.
Right, but you are where you are, so you do volume and you accrue profit share.
It won't work here. Ever hear that about Keller Williams? Oh, that's a good company, but
I heard it.
won't work in this market. We're in Manhattan.
I've heard it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Manhattan office has like 800.
I just missed somebody who went into a Manhattan office.
Well, you get the next one.
I will.
So you guys get some value
Oh,
today?
and by the way,
Absolutely.
that out-of-town thing is, don't limit your thinking to this office.
No, my sphere of influence is
Ju-
North
just like-
Jersey and New
just
York,
like-
so I did limit it for a long
Just
time,
like
but not
we're
anymore.
in the #1 real estate network in the
In
world,
the world.
shouldn't everybody you know that even you have a cousin who's moving from Chicago to San Francisco, that you can hook them up with the best agent? That's the easiest
Absolutely.
business in the world.
Yeah.
Two questions real quick. If I, like for myself, like do I have to go to Dan, to the other team leader? Is that the process, or
Yeah.
do I just call the office?
You don't have to,
and-
Fernando, however, I'd like you to, because
Mm-hmm.
it creates a paper trail. I officially send an email CCing you, CCing that team leader, introducing the two of you, so that there's no mistake that person
Right.
sponsored by
You.
Fernando Paduano.
And the next question, what about if someone international?
We did expand to the whole world. It actually works better outside the country because it's called growth share, not profit
I don't
share,
know if it's gonna be down here. or-
and they don't cap out.
Wherever you
You
want.
get paid on everything.
Definitely.
And then you go.
There's no cap.
We can't.
International.
There's a problem.
There's no cap?
There's no
Gary, thank you
cap.
so much.
There's no, so in other words, doesn't matter how much business the person does, they call it growth share. You get the benefit on all the business that they do.
Okay.
So international is a huge market, and if there's nobody in that country, Althea Osborne cold called somebody in South Africa and ended up getting that country in her
Okay.
downline because she hooked up with some Century 21 agent who was looking for an opportunity. So you could absolutely get somebody in a country where Keller Williams is or is not. It's just a little more. I had a guy who said was interested in India, so I talked to Bill Soderop, the head of international, and he goes, in India, it's a big country, you would get, not the country, you know, they would be a bunch of hubs, but he goes, you should understand, we've turned down 13 people. Because they want the right person who has the leadership to do that. If Keller Williams is established, you could sponsor an agent in another country,
Okay.
and they would just go into
No,
that,
I just want the big one.
just want the big one?
Yeah. And then open up an office.
Oh, okay, well, if you know somebody, that's even a better opportunity, because they're looking for people everywhere. I mean, they're gonna open up 20 in England, they're gonna open up, you know, what are the last countries we just went into?
Chile, South America.
Greece.
Greece,
Italy, Poland, Spain.
There was somebody
Somebody-
in this,
somebody
region
you know.
who was looking at becoming a part of an Italian region. because of somebody that they know. It's like, who do you know who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody? It's
Exactly, that's all it is,
everybody.
conversation.
Yeah, it's only being aware of it, so when that conversation happens and you hear it, you can do something with it.
Capitalize.
Right.
Just like, isn't that what happens in real estate?
Absolutely.
You're standing in line in a restaurant and the people behind you are frustrated because they couldn't sell their house. You
Yep.
might start up a conversation.
Really?
I'm thinking about getting my real estate license, you might chime in.
I actually, have started giving out my business card, like when I go to the bank, or I go to the dollar store, or TJ Maxx, to the cashiers or whatever, you know, if you ever get tired of this job and you'd like to get into real estate, give me a call.
Yep. Right.
You never know.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much,
Fantastic.
Gary.
Hey, I hope
Appreciate it.
that helped. It never goes exactly the way I think it's gonna go.
Absolutely.
Let's
Well,
give Gary a round of
sometimes you gotta wing it.
But, and I'm serious because so few people will. If you have a question, call me.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to discuss
May I have
it.
your card? Do you have-
Yeah.
do you have one?
It's right here.
Do you have it?
I'm working with a coach.
Just
I
give it
mean,
to
I'll give
us.
you a real card.
He just gave it to you. The Fs.
The what?
The Fs. The number of Fs.
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't there for this?
No,
Oh,
I
okay,
ran
cool.
in late because I was with an agent.
Oh.
Ah,
She didn't have an umbrella and it was chaos.
I actually am just ordering VOP cards, but that was the.
This is the card
Tony,
stuff.
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Card stuff.